All right, let's run through some examples where we have to write an inequality from a provided graph. So one thing, your paper copy is probably not showing up the shaded region very well. So if you could on your notes, just go ahead and shade in this top part that's in yellow. That's the shaded region. Those are all of the solutions. So to write an inequality, we want to identify the slope and the y-intercept from the graph. So if we look at our graph, I'm just gonna see if I can find some exact points to highlight and then find the slope from one point to the next. So this looks like we're rising one and running one. So up one over one, up one over one, up one over one. So this slope is 1. The y-intercept is where are we crossing the y-axis? So here's the y-axis and it's crossing right there at a -3. So your y-intercept is 0, -3. The other thing we want to notice is that we have a solid line and we are shaded above the line. All right, so our inequality is going to be, starts with a y. Solid line is either going to be greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Which one of those will shade above? The greater than will shade above. So our inequality is going to be y is greater than or equal to. Our slope is 1, so we're just filling in mx plus b. 1x or just x, and then your y-intercept is -3, so -3. And that is the inequality to represent that graph. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Again, the shaded region is below the line, so go ahead and do that shading a little more obvious on your graph. Let's identify the slope and the y-intercept. For the slope, we want to find, this is an exact point, that's an exact point. You can count the rise, up 1, to the right 3. So 1 over 3 is our slope. And our y-intercept, we are crossing the y-axis at 0. Okay, we have a solid line. No, we don't. I was kidding. We have a dotted line and we are shaded below the line. All right, when you have a dotted line, your inequality options are greater than or less than. And if you're shading below, you're going to choose the less than option. So our inequality is y is less than mx plus b, so 1/3 x. Your b is 0. You could write plus 0, but it would just simplify away, so you don't need to. I certainly wouldn't mark you off if you wrote in a plus 0. It's still correct, but it's also correct to not write it in because it does simplify away. All right, last graph, we were going to make sure you fill in the shaded region. Now, again, our line got a little bit more steep. Would you guys say this shading is above the line or below the line? Here's what you do. Put your pencil on your line. If you draw straight up, is that region shaded? No, it's not. If you draw straight down, is that region shaded? Yes. So wherever you go, if you go straight down and you're in the shaded region, this is considered below the line. Okay, but let's find our slope and our y-intercept. So a slope, we're going to find 2 exact points. Count the rise, we're going down 2 and to the right 1. So down 2 to the right 1 is -2 over 1 or -2. The y-intercept, we're crossing the y-axis right there at a +1. So 0, 1. All right, and then we have a solid line and we have shaded below the line. So solid line means we can use a greater than or equal to or a less than or equal to. Shading below is going to use the less than or equal to. So y is less than or equal to mx plus b, so -2x plus 1.